Hello, welcome in a new video on Dungeon Defenders, and this time I will show you how to run a Akatiti jungle on Ruthless difficulty. So about the map, before we start, a bit of introduction, but is the map worse to farm on Ruthless or even on Nightmare? Well, the answer is no, especially for Ruthless, because there is some better maps to farm now. From Akatiti jungle you can get 3 weapons, and the best one to farm is the Obsidian Clava, which is an apprentice staff and a builder staff. But even if it can roll with good stats, the plus odds are very low, and it's not very oftenly rolling with good stats. And there is some better options to farm some builder stuff now in the game, like Tavern Incursion, which is the best place to farm statistic weapon for your apprentice, and you can get some insane stuff like that if you're lucky. Or you can also get farm like Emerald City to get some emerald stuff for your builders, and which is a very good apprentice staff that can also roll with, well, that also give you move speed. And if you can run Akatiti jungle or on Ruthless, you could run Emerald City on Ruthless or Nightmare. So that's why Akatiti jungle is not good to farm on Ruthless in my opinion. But if you're nostalgic or just like a good Clava or want to farm the map for any reason, I have a build for you. A build where you can target farm the free Obsidian Clava, because it's as I say, it's the most interesting weapon. And yeah, the difference also from Nightmare and Ruthless, at least on these maps especially, is that on Nightmare you can't target farm the weapon, you get them randomly at the end of the map. But on Ruthless, if you have like 3 apprentice, then you will get 3 Obsidian Clava at the end of the map. That's the good thing about Ruthless on this map. So yeah, about the build and the builders. I am using my classic builders, more or less. And for my tower boost, well, I suggest for your tower boost to have at least like 2k hero boost. It will help you to kill the boss. And for your apprentice, I am using a speedy Polybius, which is the same as an Huntress Guardian. So you could use any kind of Huntress Guardian. Just try to get one with some decent tower stats, and it will be fine. In fact, you only need the Huntress Guardian for the last wave, so if you don't have a good Huntress Guardian, you could run with your current best builder pets like Magicite or a Diamond or something like that, and only take Huntress Guardian for the last wave. But I run all the way with just my speedy Polybius, because it won't change much for the map. You will get lower stats for the first waves, but it's not very important. And that's it for the builders. You will also need one summoner with Monk and Huntress Guardian, and you need one DPS EV with an Ember Scepter or something similar, and an Apprentice DPS. And I'm using a Sea Drag on my Apprentice, but you could use your just take your best DPS pet and equip it on your Apprentice, and it will be fine. If it's a DPS I, take a DPS I. If it's a DPS Christmas Elephant, then take a Christmas Elephant. It's not very important. And that's it. So yeah, now we can start the map. And yeah, I showed you very good DPS characters, but you don't need as good DPS characters as me, because with my current DPS I will melt the boss in just 2 or 3 seconds, as you will see at the end of the video. So even if you have lower DPS stats, it will be fine. So we start by collecting some mana as usual. Then you can build one ensnare and one strength drain aura here. One more ensnare here and strength drain here. Yeah, like this. And when you build this these two aura, just make sure that it will affect your buff beam. When you will boost the aura, I will show you in a moment. But before that, so you build a 4D buff beam, a mushroom. Then you can swap to your apprentice, take a tower boost, and also that summoner. So first, with your summoner, you want to stand here to boost the two aura, and you can start the wave. With your tower boost monk, you will collect some mana, and with your apprentice, you can build one DST like this, and the rest will be lightning towers. You need 6 lightning towers. Then you can also upgrade your buff beam, and you can also tower boost, of course. And then there is one stuck goblin, but he is dead. So that was for the first wave. You also need now that this wave is over to build one golem. And after that you will be done with the build. Here, just one golem on top of your mushroom. Now you can take an upgrader, and with your summoner you can stand here to boost the two aura here, and you can start. Then as soon as you can max your buff beam. And once the buff beam is maxed, you can move that summoner to this location, so it will boost the lightning towers. And then you can just upgrade. And what I was talking about with the two aura here is that you have to make sure that when you boost them, well, they will reach your buff beam. As you can see here, they are affected by your buff beam. They have a big range, but sometimes you may place them a bit too far away from the buff beam, like somewhere here or somewhere in this location. And so they won't be affected by your buff beam, and they will be small aura. So make sure that this is not happening. Okay. And you can just spend one wave or two to upgrade. If you have lower stats, you could try to build some minion. because as you can see, this is a minionless build. So the same builds but with some minion should make the map even more easy to do. You could build some minion walls in some places. Okay. Upgrading is almost done, but once it's done or almost done, you can remove that summoner and you will take it back with your main characters. Like that. Then you stand back here and you can just run like that. And if, like me, it's not fully maxed, you can do the few last upgrades with your tower boost. And it will be like that for all the wave until the very last wave. And if you don't know about it, well, I don't know if you know about it, but there is a secret on the map that can make you get some turtle on the treadmill pets, but don't do that. It's not worth it. The pet is very bad, and the secret is it's taking at least 1 minute to do. So it's really not worth it. And if you want turtle on a treadmill pet, you can get some a lot better ones on Temple of Water on the wave 35. Yeah, sometimes you will get some stuck mobs, but here I'm just very unlucky. And you just have to wait. Or you can try to lure the enemy near your lightning towers. Yeah, that's a bit annoying. You could try to build an extra DST in that direction, but well, as you can see, there is only 85 defense unit. And the mobs are very tanky. They have a lot of HP. So I don't want to remove one lightning towers. You could remove like one lightning towers, but with only 85 DU you will really feel it and lose a lot of DPS for the rest of the wave. but you could try to remove one lightning towers and build one DST, but you need to find the one extra defense unit somewhere else. So you may have to remove 2 lightning towers, which is absolutely not worth it. So yeah, I can't do much about the stuck mobs. I have only one DST, but it's facing the southeast direction, because there is most oftenly stuck mobs in that directions. But sometimes, as you can see there, you can get some stuck copters on southwest. And of course, if you get one with lightning electric resistance that gets stuck, well, there is nothing you can do about it. Here, you can just pray that it's gonna be affected by your strength drain, or try to lure it. Well, it's a bit annoying, but I don't really have a solution for that. Because everything in my build is required, I'd say. I have a golem, but you need the golem to aggro all the ogres, because if you don't build a golem, they may target your crystals instead of your towers instead. You also need a mushroom because, well, it's doing a lot of DPS and really help you to kill the mob faster. And you need the lightning towers for obvious reasons. And the aura, you can't remove any. So yeah, I don't really know. I guess what you could do is that you could use third characters, like the DPS apprentice, and you could wander with him on the map. As you can see, on this wave everything was fine, and most of the time it will be fine, but sometimes you may get some stuck mobs. So for the final wave, you will need your DPS EV. I am using it as my first split. You need also to bring your builder apprentice, and you make it, well, you make her stand here at the same location as your summoner was. And you will also need a DPS apprentice, and that DPS apprentice you can make it stand here, like this. It's right between the 2 cores, so with your DPS pet it will DPS everything, every ogre's coming close to him, and you can start the wave. So of course during that wave you can collect some mana to charge your beam, but you can just stand here near your DPS apprentice, and you will boost him with your cat for even more DPS. And as the ogres will die right next to you, you will automatically collect some mana. I didn't talk too much about that, but the way I place my tower boost and my adept upgrader, adept builder, I mean, is, well, I'm placing them that way, so the spiders won't try to web them. They will try to web my summoner or adept builder where she's standing right now, but not your tower boost. Okay, so For this way, if you can move your characters, your tower boost, you can make it stand here, somewhere here. You can move your DPS apprentice here, and say so as your EV. And why I make them stand here is because like that my tower boost will hero boost my characters, but also tower boost my towers. So here, for the goblin mech, you will have to tower boost, hero boost, set the auto fire on your DPS apprentice, and at the same time use your DPS heavy. I will show you. It will be very fast. You set up auto fire with your apprentice, and then you also DPS heavy. And there we go, boss easily defeated. And if you don't know about it, to auto fire you can hold left and right click at the same time, and then as you are controlling your force split, as you keep holding on the attack, you press F2 to go back to your main split, and this way your split will keep doing what he was doing. So here is the loot of the end of the map. You can get some Obsidian Clava. As you can see, it's ultimate, but it can roll with really good stats. But it's just a matter of luck. And you can get also some accessories. Yeah. That's it for the build. I hope this build will help you to complete the map, and I hope this video was helpful to you. Thank you for watching, and see you for another video.